This morning at 8:05 and then again a little after 10 o'clock, an anonymous poster on 4chan said that in Antarctica, they were part of secret operations to retrieve an egg-shaped UAP or UFO in a cave in Antarctica in Queen Elizabeth's Range that had petroglyphs or hieroglyphs on the egg and on the wall of the cave, and also an alien was sleeping inside of this pod. Now, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know if it's created with artificial intelligence, but this was posted this morning at 8:05, and it says these are some of the photos from the Antarctica retrieval mission in Queen Elizabeth's Range, that it's an egg UAP from another angle, hieroglyphs on the cave's wall that could mean petroglyphs, and also there was an entity sleeping inside the pod, and they showed that in these photos from two different angles. So there you have it. I don't know if these are real or not, but just recently on News Nation with Ross Coulthart, we had vetted and real Delta Force and Green Beret operators and Special Forces, guys like Jacob Barber, all coming forward and saying that they transported egg-shaped UAPs and UFOs on secret operations and crash recovery teams that even included remote viewers and psychic tacticians, or what they called psionic assets, that did remote viewing to telepathically capture these UFOs. And they said that a lot of times they were giant eggs, like 20-foot eggs. The same poster on 4chan released just like a couple of hours later this video footage of allegedly the same egg transported over Antarctica with a cargo lift from a helicopter, and then you can see some kind of a square blanket or platform or sled underneath this giant egg, and it is strapped up and being hoisted out. And if it's the same pictures of the egg in the cave with the alien, we have to assume that there was also a team that recovered all the rest of those artifacts, including the alien sleeping inside of that pod. So things are getting super weird, but think about it. What would you do if you were in possession of this kind of footage? Let's say you were on one of these special operations teams. You were like a Green Beret or Delta Force guy, and you had this footage in your hands going inside a cave in Antarctica and retrieving an alien egg, UFO or UAP. And remember, Jacob Barber said that when they went and captured these eggs, a lot of times, or these UAPs, they would come right out of the mountain, out of solid ground, or out of the ground itself, or out of the ocean, just like be able to phase through the solid material of the mountain and fly around. And then they would use psionic assets or telepaths, remote viewers, to telepathically take control of the alien or the craft, and then bring them down and crash land them or land them on the ground. And then the Delta Force operators or Air Force guys would go in and capture all of the stuff. So I don't know if these are real or not, or if these were created in AI, but think about what you would do if you were a Delta Force operator and you had been sitting on all of this since 2022, some secret mission in Antarctica. And then all of a sudden, Jacob Barber comes out on News Nation with Ross Coulthart and does this whole disclosure and reveals an egg UAP being transported by helicopter. Can you think of a better time? I mean, I would do it. I would be like, okay, I'm going to go on Reddit or on 4chan, or I would probably just post it right onto YouTube or whatever and try to get it out. But you would try to find a way where you could anonymously, through a VPN and some anonymous account, be able to leak this stuff out. But it's hard to say if it's real or not, if any of this is real or not. But you kind of have to take these Special Forces operators and Delta Force guys' word for it. If they were the pilots of the helicopters, don't you think they would know? They would know if they were airlifting a balloon that was full of helium, which they wouldn't do anyways. They would not be airlifting a balloon or a blimp with a helicopter. They would know if it was like a heavy object or something substantial. And not only did they say that, but they said they knew that these things were of non-human origin or non-human intelligence. Jacob Barber, in his testimony, even went on to say that when he had a 20-mile transport of one of these objects, that he even had a telepathic connection kind of overwhelm him, and he got really emotional, and that it really drastically affected his life and even his spirituality. So it's pretty fascinating stuff. Is it true that we live in a reality where we share existence with these egg-shaped UFOs? And what is the pilot inside? What are the aliens that are flying these things? And do they stay inside their pod in the cave and pilot it with telepathy? And then the human remote viewer is just more powerful and takes it over and they capture it? Or are the aliens actually inside of these eggs? Like, what's inside the eggs? It's really fascinating. So if this stuff is real, we're in a total paradigm shift in 2025. We're going to have to wait and see if these anonymous posters come out and tell us the full story and who they are. But so far, we've got Jacob Barber and all of his friends, multiple vetted and valid Green Beret, Delta Force operators, and Air Force special operators, all saying that these are real UFOs and they're not human. What do you think? Let me know.